I'm sorry, are you addressing me? Because your authority is not recognized in Fort Kickass.
Are not rubbers. Oh my god. Okay, yes, you can rub them, but just please don't hurt my family.
He mean we're not robbers.
Oh.
Hi, this is Harry from 1inFive.
This is Brian from One Man's Duty.
This is Meg from Ship to the Sun.
This is Jess from She Was Loud.
You're listening to Dr. Bones.
Dr. Bones and Mike, Dr. Bones and Mike.
And you're listening to New Music Saturday.
This is Martin from Ability Rock.
JJ from Juxta.
Hey, this is Leslie
And Jason.
of The Sweetest Condition. New Music Saturday.
Music Saturday.
New Music Saturday.
New Music Saturday.
And you're listening to New Music Saturday.
New Music Saturday. Dr. Bones and Mike. New Music Saturday.
Right on, and welcome to New Music Saturday with myself, Dr. Bones, and Mike 1inFive, the guitarist everybody wished they were.
Hello, good evening, good afternoon, good morning, wherever you are.
Yeah, I guess, I was going to say, well, I had to think about that for a second. It's like, well, there's people behind us and ahead of us, you're right, so never mind.
There'll be someone somewhere where it's morning.
Yeah, just a little bit of a brain freeze there, right?
Yeah.
So,
what a way to wake up, though. Imagine if you were in one of those countries.
Yeah, right, eh? Like, what the? So,
Awesome.
so tonight we have another special guest, and our special guest tonight is a soul artist we've been playing lots of, and we're huge fans of. Welcome, Annika Brown.
Hi, thanks for inviting me on the show. I'm quite honored.
Well, definitely our pleasure. I mean, we love the music, and I know Mike's been gloating about having the CD as well, so...
Yep. I'm very pleased to be an owner of that, and to have seen you live. That was awesome.
Thank you. That was fun.
But to get started, when you do you have like a specific writing format? Meaning, do you start with the music first and then the lyrics first, then the music, or like do you draw from inspiration? I mean, inspiration mean like stuff you've kind of been through or kind of past experiences, sort of thing.
Well, I guess as a writer, you never really switch off. You soak up inspiration all the time. Yeah, at some stage it just pours out. I don't really sit around and wait for inspiration. It just, I just show up and start writing, I guess. And I've tried all kinds of approaches, and one thing that's never worked for me is starting with the music first. I usually need I need the words. I can write music and words at the same time, or just do the words first, but not the music first. That just never works for some reason.
Oh, fair enough.
Yeah.
No, just curiosity, because it's always a different story for each artist, and they have their different ways. I mean, it's a little bit different, like when there's an actual band as opposed to like solo artists. But with your writing process in general, do you have has there ever kind of a theme developed? Meaning, like for like your newest album, did you have like a theme to that, or did it just kind of fall into place the way you wanted?
That was an interesting one, the last one, because I actually had the title, I think, a year or two before I actually recorded it. And picking the titles was quite difficult because, I wanted to squeeze so much on and I could only pick a few. But I didn't write particularly for that theme, but I tried to pick songs that would, suit it, basically.
No, I was just curious because some of the songs they kind of like, it seemed like maybe unintentionally kind of sort of a theme, kind of sort of, they're kind of somewhat connected, and it just for instance Apocalypso, and then there's The Devil Has a Shovel. It's like, so
they were written at very different times in my life. Apocalypso I wrote, I think, only a month before I recorded it. And I didn't really get the meaning it had for me in my life at the moment. But subconsciously it was all there. And yeah, it's really hard. It's strange how that theme appeared in my life. It's sort of, yeah, I don't know. It just, for some reason, the devil wanted to, yeah, be acknowledged. And yeah, it's
the dirty son of a
There's
bitch.
been a lot of changes in my life since, so I don't know. It was a funny thing the devil should show up. I don't know if any of this makes sense.
No, it does. I'm just trying to think of like having a follow up for that. It's like I had some first, but I lost it. So, Mike, I'm going to pass the proverbial mic over to you.
Hello. Well, yeah. So first of all, thank you very much for coming on the show, and obviously thank you for being a brilliant album. So just for anyone, so I'm a big fan of yours. Obviously, I came down to see you in Brighton. I absolutely loved the show. And I'll ask you to sort of. I've raved about that a few times on the show, but in a minute I'll ask you
a few.
Yeah, but I'll ask you to sort of describe that because it's quite interesting in your own words in a minute. But before that, let's say we have a load of new listeners that have never heard the show, never heard us play any of your tracks, and never heard me raving on about how much I love you. As a musician, sorry, that was a bit forward. So let's imagine that. How would you describe yourself or your music rather, to someone that has no concept of what Annika Brown is or does? How would you explain that to someone? If you met them in a pub and they said, "What are you doing?" You said, "I'm a musician." They said, "What kind of stuff do you play?" How would you answer that question?
Well, that is a very simple question. Unfortunately, I'm very bad at answering simple questions, and I've always been.
That's all right.
When I was 4, people kept asking me, what is your favorite color? And I always confounded them by answering pink with green stars. So my answer will be a bit like that, I'm afraid.
That's cool, go on.
Yeah, so I am an alternative singer-songwriter, and I like telling stories. And yeah, what I'm doing at the moment is I'm jumping off cliffs and trying to grow wings on the way down. So I'm still, I'm trying to change what I'm doing a little bit, make it more theatrical. Yeah, just weaving in more stuff that that feel like they're me, basically. Which,
Awesome. And seamlessly, you mentioned the word theatrical, and your live show was very theatrical. So describe that to people and the process behind coming up with that and stuff like that, because it was a genuinely brilliant show. I won't do it justice trying to describe it, but go on, tell us about that album launch and the following shows.
Well, when I had finished recording the album, I felt like I want to do it more cabaret style, kind of. But I had no clue how I was going to achieve that. And it was until May when it was about May, I had arranged a charity gig. And I felt like, okay, I actually need to have a show. But I didn't know what to do. And then I happened upon this book of poems by John Agard from The Devil's Pulpit. I just really loved it. And to my surprise, I noticed that all the poems slotted perfectly between the songs I had picked for my set. And they were telling a story. And can you believe my luck? The poet was local. I managed to meet up with him, get his permission to perform it, and I took it from there and slowly developed it. I've only performed it 4 times at the moment. It's hard to explain, really, isn't it? What it's like.
It's one of those where you definitely have to be there. I mean, for me, I was fascinated by the fact that, like you say, it was very much it was almost a cabaret. It was very theatrical. It was playing a song, reading one of the poems, the way that you read them and the way that you acted that out, I thought was really dramatic. And then you were with someone else who, from memory, was he playing an accordion on some tracks? Is that right?
Yes, it was. And we had one rehearsal a couple of days before that, and I gave him tricky songs to practice, so I was really impressed with
Lucky. him.
It was luck. Yeah.
Well, it was really, really excellent. So myself and Ivan, who I think is listening to the show, he said as well. So hello, Ivan. Popped down. We thoroughly enjoyed that. It was really, really good. And obviously, I then bought the album, and just every track on that's a winner. So beautifully done, Bainesy.
Well, thank you. You're gonna let me talk here, are you?
Occasionally.
Yeah. Well, this time I'm not, because we're gonna get to a song. So,
Fair enough.
our first song up of the night by Annika Brown is called "Kiss of the Superwoman." Dig this.
Spider-Woman.
Spider-Woman.
Something a little strange, that's what you notice. She's all wrapped up in herself as she composes. She seduces you with a rhythm of words. She weaves her threads and never loses them. I'm lost already, and the story's only just begun. Where did the hero go wrong? Why is it that I crave the kiss of the Spider-Woman? Why do I lie awake in the dark, waiting to be caught in the web of the Spider-Woman? Don't be surprised if you're intoxicated by the poison in her voice, and then find yourself too fascinated to ever again make another choice. She's got you where she wants you. You're trapped, paralyzed. She has misled you to believe her. She's left me hanging, and I wonder for how long. How will the story go on? Is it that I crave the kiss of the Spider-Woman? Why do I lie awake in the dark, waiting to be caught in the